Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome back to the SME Forum. And today we have something exciting for you. We have an exciting topic because we're going to be talking about the future. Yes. No, we're not going to predict the future. But we're going to be talking about business trends today. Business trends for 2013. Would you like to know about the top business trends for 2013? Before that, let me introduce our guest commentators. They're already familiar to you because they've one time or another been either a guest or a host here on this show. And I invited them back because of their expertise and because of their know-how. They've done business themselves, and they've been networking with a lot of businessmen here in the country. And let's first introduce somebody who is actually from this country. Okay. He has many businesses. One of them is he's a partner of mine in BizWiz, and he also is a director for King's Fortune, and he owns several other media businesses. Let's introduce Mr. Jeffrey Yu. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Boom. Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah.
And aside from that, no, I'm an addict.
Oh.
Yeah, do you know that? Did you know that?
No.
No?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
no.
No,
I'm
on the air.
I'm a learning addict. No, I love to learn now. That's why I love SME Forum so much, because we can learn a lot about business here in this show.
Wow.
Yeah.
But right now you're going to teach them, right? Or you're going to comment on a lot of stuff?
Yeah, we'll comment on. By the way, can I greet someone?
Sure.
Yeah, I would like to greet Bernie and Bernie's mom. They watch their show. They watch your SME Forum show.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Hi,
fans.
Bernie and Bernie's mom.
Yes, hello.
Bernie's mom, is that?
Bernie's mom.
Bernie's mom, right. Especially Bernie's mom.
Yep.
Is it their birthday? No.
No,
okay.
no.
Well,
We'll
anyway,
greet
happy
her.
birthday.
Advance.
Advance. All right. So, and another one is really not from the Philippines. Our other guest now is really not from the Philippines, but he's a Filipino at heart.
Yeah.
Right. And he's been doing business here for several years now, and he's been helping a lot of Filipinos. He's donated a lot of stuff. He's a best-selling author, and I don't think he's unfamiliar. I think he's very familiar to you right now, Mr. Khoa. Hi, Khoa.
Hi, how you going? Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show again. It's really great to be on your show and featured again and everything.
Well, it's okay. You can insult the host.
We can insult you, meaning.
Really? Really?
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just try to do that. You're not leaving here alive. Anyway, so our topic, like I said, is very interesting. It's something that you might want to consider if you're going to get into business this year. So it's about the business trends for 2013. And this didn't come lightly. Like last year, we did a lot of research, and I would have to say 90% of them actually came true. Okay? And that's a very high percentage. So I guess our research team, headed by those guys at home, hi, you guys do a good job. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk first about the factors that will contribute to these trends. Okay? Can you tell me what do you think was unique that happened in 2012? What happened to the Philippine economy then, Jeff? Do you remember? Can you think about it?
Philippine economy.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that popped into my mind is the habagat.
Okay.
What happened to the Philippines, right? But I know that the Philippine Stock Exchange is booming even right now, right? And last year it really hit a high. I just don't know what particular. The index.
The index is performing well, and Forex is performing well.
Forex performing well.
And I think basically a lot. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there's been definitely a huge increase in the economy. I've seen lots of BPO, like call centers popping up as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen lots of call centers popping up in the provinces, and lots of people who used to work in call centers, they've become entrepreneurial, and then they've just started up their own call centers as well. So,
wow.
Yeah, and when I was training in the call center, I knew lots and lots of people there, and then about 12 months later, they left the call center and they just started up their own one, and Yeah, so it's really
They started
crazy.
their own
They
call
started their own
center.
one. Yeah. And the knowledge they got, they applied it to their own endeavors, and I can see photos of them on Facebook now. They've just got their own, headsets and everything. It's really entrepreneurial. So that's the biggest thing I saw in last year. So
Yeah, last time Khoa organized a BPO summit event, right?
Yeah.
So it's a success.
Yeah. We organized the BPO event last year, and it got lots of interest as well. We had agents coming in and just having a look around and everything. So it was really
and people
exciting.
who wanted to start call centers or BPOs actually got a lot from that summit. I think.
Yeah. So we tried to cover everything. The service, how to set one up. It wasn't just call centers, but just outsourcing to the Philippines. So
Okay, well, what I noticed, and this was very grassroots, okay? We have a few neighbors that throughout 2011 didn't have jobs.
Yeah,
they live in, some of them are informal settlers, okay? And they didn't have jobs. But last year, I mean, they were going out. Construction was booming, and it wasn't as noisy in their area anymore. Right, the video case were toned down right now, and I think many of them started getting jobs. Okay, so I think last year was a banner year for the country. Okay, it became in the magazines they said that the Philippines is now the new Asian tiger. Okay, because of growth and because of the money coming into the Philippines now. Did you know it's to the tune of almost $1 billion a month?
Wow.
And I have to be sorry and I have to apologize to people in government right now. Yes, the comments and views of the hosts are not reflective of the stations, right? So I have to apologize, but it had very little to do with government. 3 factors actually contributed to the rise or to the growth or to the money coming into the Philippines. The first factor was the crisis in both the U.S. and Europe. They have a financial crisis right now. And if you were a European right now, you'd be coming into the Philippines. Or you'd be looking at different places where you can invest your money. And luckily, that was us. Okay? Why us? Because of the second factor. There is a strained relationship, and I don't mean this to offend anyone, there's a strained relationship between European countries, American countries, and China right now. Right? Which is the most logical place to put your money. If I were an investor, China would be. But since there is this tension between China and Japan, and China and Taiwan, and then China and the Philippines, and then China and almost every other country right now. Even Vietnam right now is feeling the crunch with China. So I don't think I think that if you were a European or an American or some investor, you'd probably think twice about putting it in China right now. So they look at Vietnam, Philippines, and stuff like that. And luckily, again, us. And the third factor is tsunamis. Okay, if you'll agree with me in that one. I mean, the tsunamis that hit Japan and Thailand closed down many factories there. So where do they move? To the next best place, which is the Philippines. And this is the biggest factor for me because suddenly they're bringing all their business back. Okay. Now I've mentioned that. What do you think about those? This is a result of some research. But do you think there are other factors that may have contributed to this?
I think as an investor, like when you're investing in something, you tend to look at previous investment, like the graphs and everything. And if it raises to a certain peak, you sort of like pull your money out, right? So with the Philippines, it's really growing. It hasn't reached that point where it's just like so big and then it's going to collapse. So I think that's one reason why people are investing lots of money into the Philippines. Even if you walk down the street, you'll see like Donald Trump. He's building up he's building up condominiums now. In the Philippines, I mean they've already looked at the market as well. So he's investing in here. I think Paris Hilton. I think I saw a big banner of Paris Hilton. So I think that's one of the factors is just the money thing, you know.
Bringing in.
Yeah, and it's just growing at the point. It's just growing at the moment. So yeah.
I think government had a little contribution. Okay, I mean, we're basically Filipinos are bargain shoppers. Okay, so we look for good investments everywhere. We're not loyal to any particular investment or any particular country. So if there are good rates in one country, so we spread our investment. So when the crisis hit other countries, we weren't that much affected, really. So probably one good thing that government did. But this brings about, you want to say?
Yeah, for me, cultural and language factor can be also one of the factor. Because here in the Philippines, I worked in other country before, and they actually love Filipinos because of their attitude, their culture, and also the language because they speak English. So probably some foreigners, like last time we had a Australian who had dental tourism here in the Philippines because they love the Philippines, they love the people, and they love the food. Even they can speak well with each other. So I think that's one of the factors as well.
Yeah, you remind me. I have this American friend. His name is Dan. Okay, Dan. I won't mention his last name because people might be looking for him. Just kidding, Dan. Okay, now Dan says that when he was in LA, this is in the United States. Okay, half of the places he went to in LA, he couldn't find anybody who spoke English. They spoke Spanish. Okay, like he was ordering at a restaurant that served Mexican food. Okay, but it was a popular restaurant with franchises even in the Philippines, right? And he goes there, and the only one who could talk English there was the manager. The people serving didn't speak English. Okay, so, and then he goes to the Philippines, and he tried an experiment. He went to one remote area. He wanted to go to a really remote area and see if he could still converse. So he asked his driver to take him to a remote area. It was somewhere, he said, in Rizal province, and very, very remote. And he was amazed that even in the remote area, he could strike a conversation. Not a good one, but at least strike a conversation. And that is a major factor. I would have to say that's a major factor. Thank you for bringing that up. I should put that up in the research. I should put that part of the article there. Okay, so that brings us to a unique situation. The Philippines has money coming in. We have a lot of factors, and with these factors, a lot of things have happened. Okay, the peso's getting stronger. The BPO industry is trying to feel the crunch because of a strong peso, but the import industry is getting bigger. Like we're looking at more cars coming in. Real estate's getting better. Okay, so what does that mean to the Philippines right now? Okay, so let's start with the first fearless forecast for trends today. I'm talking about green business. Okay?
Green business.
When you say green business, did you see the videos? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bike.
Yeah.
And,
Before, when you said green business, it was all about biofuels, right? Big research, biofuels, wind energy, and how do you say this? Electrical stuff and solar energy, all expensive research. But nowadays, they're cheap, right? Like this cardboard bicycle. Did you see that, Paul?
Yeah, it was. I couldn't believe it. The guy just got all this cardboard, and he had an idea, put it into like a bike, had a whole shape and everything, and then it worked, and he even had the brakes and everything on it, and had the bell, and he was just riding through the street and everything. I couldn't believe it. But when you sent me the link, I was thinking, okay, cardboard bike, maybe someone's cutting out a bike, but it was actually a real bike.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting,
And he was driving it through water and stuff
through
like
water,
that.
It was working fine, yeah.
Yeah, and I like the idea because it's something anyone can do, right? Yeah. Although he's looking for funding from it, don't tell him. But it's really something anyone can do.
Yeah.
It uses an Oriental technique called origami.
Origami.
Right, where you fold paper and make it
like
stronger.
A Japanese
Yeah,
right?
and it's really strong, and the bike actually works, and that guy is no small person.
Yeah, he was. He was a pretty big guy as well, and he rode it. And it was fine. So, and I was thinking about the video. I was thinking maybe, if the Philippines can apply that, imagine if people in the province were using the resources they had, and then they can just put together a bike, and then they save money, transport costs, and everything. I think at your Farm Nation event, I remember when you showed me, there was someone who made handbags, right, out of the
garbage.
Recycled garbage.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, So it's all about just being resourceful and everything. So,
right.
yeah.
Okay. So okay. So green business. Like there's this other video I sent. Were you able to watch that about the gravity light?
Gravity light.
Light powered by gravity. Okay, and it costs. I mean, of course, the cost of the bulb, but that's it. To generate electricity costs absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Unlimited energy.
Unlimited energy. A 3 second rise in gravity gives you 30 minutes of light.
Wow.
3 seconds for 30 minutes of light. How do you like that?
Yeah. I do hope the government can support those kind of technologies, right?
It's a pretty simple. It's a pretty simple theory. Do you have a grandfather clock?
Grandfather clock is the big one.
That's
right?
a big one,
And
right?
then
How does it run? You pull up some weights, right? And
okay.
then when the weight drops, the clock moves, right?
Yes.
It's the same principle.
Okay, it's a mechanism.
Yeah, you have a counterweight and a counterweight. Okay, you bring up the heavier weight, and then the counterweight just keeps it slow. Okay. As it turns a dynamo inside, and then the light just comes out. Okay, so it's a very, very simple design. It's something you can do at home. It's a home project for high schoolers, but it's pretty good. Okay, and if we can get that kind of technology running here, do you think investors should invest in green technology right now?
I believe we definitely should always. I remember I saw a quote. Someone said a quote the other day that if you don't believe in green and energy and everything, try holding your breath. See how long you can hold your breath for. So yeah,
hold your breath while counting your money.
Counting your money. I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's true. So you should always invest in that. But I mean, you got to think about it. It's a big threat to the energy companies. And is that will they go ahead with it and all those type of things? I mean, we can spend lots of money in trying to bring it up and everything, but then what about the other energy companies out there? Are they going to adopt the whole gravity light thing, and also even the solar? How you got the liquid that solar light?
By ELAC.
From ELAC.
From
that one there as well. So there's a lot of different alternatives, but just my concern is whether it would pass through all the
the support,
the support and everything.
So
like
it's
that.
all about politics.
It's
all about
politics
business
as well,
politics.
Yeah. So as a business, it probably might not, but as a social
perfect.
social project for certain companies, it might work.
It would solve all the problems. You don't need to. You don't need to spend any more money on electricity bills. You know how much money we'll save on electricity bills and everything, and then. The big think about it.
I was thinking of your Pomodoro
technique.
Technique, right? 25 minutes, right?
Yeah, 20.
So if I have a 30-minute clock on my light,
that's it, yeah.
Right, I'm working, I'm not listening, and then when it goes, oops, that's my Pomodoro,
that's it,
right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Right.
So but I mean, it's a start. So you might start off as 30 minutes, but if you spend a bit more time at it, and then you can make it for 24 hours, and then the problem's solved, the whole energy problem solved.
Yeah, but what do you think if you make it a small business? I mean, it might be a threat, Jeff, for big business, but if you make it a small industry, do you think it might still be a threat?
Yeah. No, I think it's actually pretty possible, pretty much possible, because of the advent of the social media, and like the one presented by ELAC, right?
Yeah.
And they can actually copy it, and people can support it because they see it, and it's about social entrepreneurship. It's about supporting the green energy. So I believe that there will be a lot of people supporting it. So business maybe, or it might be more on a social entrepreneurship side. Yeah.
Okay, so there is still a business component.
Yeah.
More on the social entrepreneurship. Okay, but it is, do you agree that it can be included in the list of trends
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
for this year?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Ah,
Especially the resources here in the Philippines are getting probably lower.
Okay,
probably.
so let's
Yeah.
go with trend number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, before we, I don't know if we're going to go into a break right now. Nobody's flagging me. All right, so let's go to trend number 2. Trend number 2 is virtual services.
Virtual services.
Okay, let me explain a little bit about virtual services. These are okay. We'll go into that. Let me explain a little bit about virtual services. Virtual services are not permanent services. Okay, these are services that you hire on as need basis. Okay, if you need somebody to do your emailing, you hire a virtual assistant. If you need a temporary office, you get a virtual office. Okay, if you need a temporary bookkeeper, you get a virtual bookkeeper. Okay, so virtual services, I believe, will go up this year. For one, it's because of awareness by the people in the call centers, especially the BPO industry, that there is such a thing as virtual services. It's just that somebody needs to organize it, and this is where the business comes in. Okay, I can provide a service to somebody in the States or somebody in the country, but it's not that I can do it because I don't know how. Okay, so the business end comes with somebody who can actually organize something like that. What do you think about that, Khoa?
Definitely. Well, I agree with the whole virtual services. It's booming, and it's great for the Philippines. And going back to what Jeffrey said about Filipinos and hospitality, and it's a perfect opportunity for Philippines because Filipinos are you're very hospitable and always friendly and everything. So virtual services, I believe, it's definitely trending. It's growing, and but I think there needs to be more education for educating the public on how to really use it. I mean, there's a few small communities out there that's teaching it, but it's not really affecting all of the Philippines. Not all the Philippines know about that yet.
Okay.
So once we've solved the whole, all of the Philippines knowing about virtual services, then maybe everyone in the provinces, everyone all over the Philippines would just jump on the computer and be able to help people out overseas as well. So, yeah.
Do you think Filipinos will be able to avail of this? Because usually it's foreigners or foreign companies that avail of our virtual assistants or virtual offices. Even the foreigners that are coming to the country. That's why it's booming right now. But do you think that there is a market for Filipinos? For Filipinos to use a virtual service?
Yes, definitely there is a market. Because right now Philippines is booming and businesses are booming. But of course, people also want to save, also want to be efficient. So and also the social media, the internet, the technology is booming, and these businesses need some assistance from skilled experts. So definitely they can hire someone, not like a regular employee, but an outsource or a virtual one. They still save them a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel there's a new mentality. Okay, but let's discuss more about virtual services. I'll leave you with this hanging question. What are the negative implications of virtual services after this break? Okay, they caught me drinking.
Caught you
They
drinking.
caught me drinking there, right?
Again, on
Again,
purpose.
right. What? You never warned me about these things.
Of course.
Okay, let's welcome Alvin.
Hey.
Dressed very differently, of course.
Yes, okay, right. Okay, we're talking about virtual.
I was
services.
listening backstage.
Yeah, I know you were. I could
And
see you.
now I picked the role of devil's advocate.
Okay,
And
right.
So whatever you say, I'll contradict. No.
Not
I'm a
ever.
very optimistic person, but we must see the other side
Okay.
once in a while.
Right. Virtual services.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the other side.
Yeah.
Are there any negative implications?
Of course. Of
Okay,
course.
what?
You were all praises back a while ago.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be all. I believe that with virtual outsourcing, you have to master one aspect first.
Okay.
Let's say you have to be famous in what? Let's say writing, copywriting. That's all you master first before you offer other services. Because if you offer everything, I do writing, I do photo editing, video editing,
and I do your math too.
Yeah, I will do your laundry as well. Nobody will hire you because you're a jack of all trades.
Yeah,
You
master.
have to master one aspect. Like Jeff masters several things, but he's known for his good looks. His his training skills. So you start with that training, and now he sells other stuff because his brand is he's building on top of his own brand. Khoa is a master of many things as well, but he's known for his books.
Yeah,
You start with that books, then training, then.
Is that a virtual thing you can outsource?
Yeah, book writing.
You really? Okay, can you write my book for me?
Go try this.
You're a master of training as well. You train languages. Among other things, many other things.
Well,
That's why you needed the rest.
I forgot to train you, man.
I need your services to training. So that's enough of being negative.
That was negative?
Yeah, that's the extent of my negativity.
I mean, if this is negative, who needs positive?
Yeah, yeah.
That's really great. Okay, but I think there are a few factors because in virtual services, you're likely to be open to people who will con you, or people who will scam you, right? You offer a service, you do a lot of stuff, and then suddenly you don't get paid. Okay, there is a risk to virtual services. That's why you need somebody who knows what he's doing to organize this.
All right.
Okay. So do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I've actually, when I was in Australia, I outsourced a lot. So some of the work went to the Philippines, some went to Singapore. I think one work went to like Pakistan or something. But yeah, it really depends on the platform that you use. You know, it needs to be all automated. You got payments such as escrow, you know, where it's all secure and everything like that. And yeah, it really depends on the platform that you use, you know, to make sure that you don't get scammed and everything like that. So make sure it's credible, it has all the backing and everything. So that's from my experience from virtual services. In terms of the negative side of it, you know, but in terms of the positive side, it's very good. You know,
a lot of people are getting into it right now. And in fact, don't tell your bosses, but you can actually do this while you're still in your job.
That's true.
It's an extra income. Yeah, I mean, if you go home at around 6, okay, and the person you're doing virtual services for, like email services, there's no time requirement there. So you can do that between 7 to 9, 2 hours a day, and you're still ready to sleep, and you'll still be healthy when you get back to work. Okay, and it's an additional income for you. Okay. Let's go to trend number 3. Right. Trend number 3 is urban farming, home farming.
One of your favorites.
Yeah, it is my favorite. I'm pushing for it.
Oh, yeah, for 3 years.
Okay, I will admit this is not a result of research. This is the result of advocacy.
Advocacy.
Right. Okay, the reason why is because my wife will kill me if I don't say this. No, that. Oh, sorry. Right.
The truth was leaked out.
Sorry. Okay. Now, why home farming? Right now, with money coming in, and this is my view. Okay, with money coming into the country, we're looking at more and more people who will be going to the city because opportunities are in the city, right? And you're talking about people leaving their farmlands, trying to find their fortune in the city, which is not necessarily a good thing, okay? But while they're doing that, they're abandoning the farms. And it's happening right now. Right now, they're already doing it, okay? If you think we had a lot of informal settlers last time, we're having a lot more this year. That's my view. Now, what happens to the food supply? Goes down. So, more and more people have to start growing their own food, or people who have big backyards or might want to consider creating their own farms, okay, and selling it to their neighbors. And the business aspect there would be not just the farms or the produce, that's very small in profit, but the technology that goes behind creating those farms, manuals, equipment, the soil itself, okay, and aquaponics, gadgets, stuff like that you need for creating your farms, and consulting work for that. So how do you feel about this, Alvin?
as a devil's advocate, no, there's huge potential. But what I noticed is some nothing against anyone, but foreigners come in and learn from local experts like Jojo Rome, and they apply in their own country. While local urban farmers do not do anything; they just learn without much application. Sayang, if you call it sayang.
Yeah,
I think we need more encouragement and motivation or inspiration from people who have actually done it. So more people here locally would do it.
That's where Farm Nation.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you feel about that?
For me, well, aside from you mentioned about the settlers here in the Philippines, it's also healthier to grow your own like tomato. Your house have
my house
have
has
some
that.
plants, right?
Right.
Veggies, right?
They're alive.
No, they're very healthy. Because I was also thinking last time when I have attended your Farm Nation event, I was thinking as a host, Well, I was thinking to have what I call a sustainable home, which is I have a penthouse where I can plant. And then at the ground floor, I have a warehouse. So it's actually a sustainable home. Maybe other people or fellow Filipinos can also do something like a sustainable home that they can actually eat their own produce, right? Produce. So.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's what I. And also, like for me, you mentioned about the business behind it. I need like consultant. I need people to like build the what do you call this? The structures, so that it will be so that it will have a system. Because it will be hard for me if I'm the one going to do it by myself. Yeah. So that's the business behind it. The training, encouragement,
And it's continuous training because technology keeps evolving. Okay, how about you, Khoa? How do you feel about that? I mean, you attended Farm Nation too.
Oh, Farm Nation, fantastic event. You know? I remember when I walked in, had a look, and opened the doors. There was all these people just sitting around, and they were like, "You're doing all these things." I think I was in charge of putting the saw together.
Yeah, in his business suit.
In my suit.
Business suit.
Yeah. I came from a speaking engagement and went straight to the Farm Nation. I was playing with all the saw and everything. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
that was chicken dung.
I tried it on my face and everything. But yeah, like from looking at that, I just realized there's a huge market for for urban farming. I didn't know about it before, but when I went to your event, I found out that just a lot of people interested. They were really eager to learn how to grow the plants a lot faster, I suppose. And and like you mentioned about the do-it-yourself manuals, the proper training, you do need that. But what I'm thinking, what about the professionals? I mean, the people who don't have that much time. Maybe you need to come up with some sort of system where they can learn quickly, and then they can set up on the balcony, and then they grow the things
actually,
like that.
the main challenge for urban farming is laziness.
Yeah, true.
Right, that's the main challenge is laziness.
Right
here.
Okay.
But if consultancy work can alleviate a lot of the work put in there, have it set up, or if I mean, people in the subdivisions, they can probably afford a consultant instead of paying a landscaper. Why don't they landscape their own house with vegetables?
Perfect,
right? And create a system there to make it sustainable with very, very little work. I think you eliminate the laziness.
And maybe like you just go somewhere, you pick it from the shop or something, and then you come back home, put it on the balcony, and then read the three-step instructions, and that's it. You don't have to do any planting and whatever it is.
If you're a do-it-yourself guy, you can do that. But if you're not, get the other people. Okay.
Do it.
No, let my wife do it. She loves doing that. Anyway, let's talk about the trend number 3, multi-level marketing. Okay, you're talking about a lot of grassroots people having money right now. Okay, I'm very sure that multi-level marketing professionals are going to be targeting a lot of people right now because you're talking about a totally new market. This economy, this new boost in the economy has created a totally new market. People who haven't been stung by the past. There is a danger there, but there's also something good. So, your thoughts? How about let's start with
Okay. So I believe the network marketing and direct selling and everything like that, there's a lot of it already in the Philippines, but there's also new products that's out there that's coming into the market, and it's really important to test those out first, I suppose, you know. And like you mentioned before about you know, you can get scammed sometimes, you know. So I guess that would be the con side of it, you know. But in terms of the pro side of it, you just need to just make sure it's the right one, and then just go ahead with it, and then see what happens. So that's from my view of it. So
how do you not get scammed?
No, how not to get scammed?
Yeah, why? How do you not?
By simply ignoring stuff that you cannot understand.
Right. Ignore it. Right.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Just
you
go
try to
with it,
learn
right?
it, and if you don't understand it, forget it. I mean, go on with other things. There are plenty of opportunities.
Okay.
But that one other quote-unquote negative thing with network marketing is, we have to face it, there's still this icky connotation, right? When you say networking, ickiness. Regardless of the brand, you just hear the word,
because of the
but there's still good ones out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, definitely.
There's you know, there's still a lot of good ones out there.
I'm not really an advocate, but I know there are good multi-level marketing companies out there. So I mean, Jeff, you do seminars on how not to get scammed. Right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
we do. Well, there are pros and cons. When I look at the network marketing, you mentioned about the grassroots level, so it's a totally new market. So these are people who haven't probably heard of network marketing. And the pros there is that they get to learn more about business and have that proper mindset that, I really need to have additional source of income, right? And the con there is because of lack of knowledge, on like how to not get scammed. So I really encourage them to attend our seminar.
Nice.
Because it will really save a lot of money for them. Yeah,
that's true.
Right.
That's true.
And when they start training,
No, actually, you can like our page, Facebook/SME Forum, okay, and like our page. And if you have any questions about the company that's recruiting you for MLM or multi-level, I am a DSAP consultant.
Oh,
okay, so
there you go.
I can help you determine whether that company is legit.
DSAP stands for
Direct Sellers Association of the Philippines,
which legitimizes
if the company is a member of DSAP, that's already the first factor.
One big check mark.
One big check mark right there. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, so now let's move on to the next topic because we probably don't have much time right now. Okay. The next trend would be what did we cover? Four trends right now? No.
Yeah. Reverse order. Network marketing. Yeah, four. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is the fifth one. Consulting. Training and consulting.
Ding, 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 ding.
We're all in that industry right now. Have you felt the rise in it?
Yes, there's definitely needs to be more education. I don't want to be self-serving because I'm a trainer as well, but
be self-serving.
But if you think about it, if you were to remove all the teachers, trainers, professors, and everything, like where would the world be? You always need people to educate. You always need to learn the pitfalls of network marketing, the advantages. You always need to keep learning. So, as technology increases, as industries boom, all this stuff, there's always going to be a need for more training and more people. So I can't see any downside of that one.
Yeah, so, consulting work is going to go up because the number of employees are going to increase this year. So they're going to need us more.
Great. Happy to hear that. Because we're in that industry.
Exactly. So since we're in that industry, let's not talk about that. Let's go to investment broker. To be an investment broker. Okay, investment broker meaning real estate, insurance, stocks, forex, stuff like that. I believe that will be a strong point this year because if people are looking for investments, then they need investment brokers. Let's start with Alvin.
Oh yeah, you have the money, right? So you want to invest. Find someone who is trustworthy. That's the first step because people Because admittedly, they get commissions, they get stuff.
Yeah, and they will push their
So you look for people who have that business, ethics, and most of them were our guests, right?
Right.
Yeah, we only invite guests who are ethical and
exactly
who have business savvy.
So why is Jeff here?
He's very ethical. So what is your opinion, Jeff? Get back at
I think it's booming because boom. The reason behind is they don't have that expertise, so they really need to look for someone. If they have money, they need to look for some experts like Boom, like Alvin or online related, and they pay for you. So if they have money, I believe it will boom. It will boom.
The business trending is insurance, is investment brokerage.
Investment brokerage.
So if you were to become an investment broker in this country, I think you'd make a lot of money. Right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
You earn a lot of commissions from.
Okay, since we have just a few minutes left, let's have the last one, right? Which is I forgot what was the last one. What was the last one? No, okay.
You forgot the notes.
Yeah, I forgot.
We read it, but
yeah. All right. Anyway, I did write an article on it, on all these investments. Okay, and just before we end the show, there's just one last one there, and don't worry, I'll publish the article just like our Facebook page.
All right.
So I just have one last question for all. Are there any investments you'd like included in this?
Any investments?
Or any trends you would like, business trend that you'd like?
Business trends. At the moment, I'm just looking at. I really like the outsourcing. You know, that's really good, and I think that needs to be more focused on in the Philippines. There's just more of the outsourcing, more work going into the Philippines, and more income going in. And I think that gives everyone an opportunity to increase their income and expose themselves to the world as well. So. Yeah, but that's the one. Right? Yeah, outsourcing is a big one.
How about you?
For me, IT-related stuff, because since they have money, at least they can create the system, the business system. Because there are a lot of SMEs, they don't have systems. They don't even have a website. So if they need a website or they need an inventory or accounting system, well, this is the time because they have money, and this is the time that they can actually rest, because of the system. Yeah.
Right. That's a very good.
Exactly.
And how about you?
Totally agree. IT systems, online systems, go online, opportunities abound.
All right. Okay. And the last one was actually apps. When you said IT, I remember about apps, creating apps for mobiles and stuff like that. Yes. They will be a big thing this year. Yeah. Okay, but we can't discuss anymore. We're out of time. We need more time in this show.
More time.
All right. Anyway, so I'd like to thank our guests. Okay, Khoa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff,
thank you.
Alvin, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you're not guest commentators, and stay tuned because stay tuned to SME Forum because we will be having a lot of new things this year, and I hope you will be part of it, and it'll be exciting. That will be an exciting year. All right. So, without further ado, I have to say this. It is my obligation to say
your famous quote.
My famous quote, yes, exactly. Business is not about perfecting. It's about connecting. I'll see you next week on The